leave.
Alrighty. I am back. I hope this is working okay. I had to switch mics. Rather, mic inputs. Voice mod, because the next thing on our agenda here is, Hildibrand. And Hildibrand often involves Lugae. So just in case, I wanted to make sure our voice mod was set up, and I hope it goes through. Like I'm testing it right now, haha. Okay. Pretty sure that worked. It looked like it was. I'm gonna assume that it's fine. Yeah, it says it's on the voice mod, so cross our fingers and hope that it's working. And if it's not working, I'll... Again, just to make sure it kick itself off. Okay. So. Hold on. How much is that? 1,300? Using one of my free Aetherite tickets. Oh, I guess it wasn't free. Well, the Aetherite's free. One of my Aetherite tickets that I got from using the Snow Streamer Redemption. Okay. Where are you? Where does this start? I have to do crafting, apparently. Look at all this red from crafting that I've been very lazy on. Oh, speaking of, there is a crafting one too. Maybe we'll unlock that also afterward. Alright, to Nashu Makaraka! It's Nashu. What's she doing over here? A case of the displaced inspector. Is he in Solution 9? How and why is he over there? Did he age 30 years if he was there in the... when the dome went up? No, he probably just fallen in afterwards. There's no way he aged 30 years. I hope. Guess we'll find out. A case of the displaced inspector. Looking rather lost herself, Nashi Makaraka has come west in search of the missing inspector. Why, hello there, Kitameki. Cool, how serendipitous that we should cross paths in this far-flung nation. Have you come all the way to lend me a hand? Because let me tell you, I could use the help. You see, I've been doing my absolute darndest to track down the inspector ever since Mr. Poo-Poo's starship whisked him off to gods only know where. My best lead turned out to be the Thavnarian truth. Eyewitness accounts in the latest issue described a shiny craft headed west across the ocean, so I packed a few things and headed as far west as I was able. This is where I ended up. I've made a few inquiries since my arrival, but I've mostly been acclimating myself to the native cuisine. Very important step, that. Anyway, seeing as fate has sent you to assist me, I suppose it's time I continued questioning the locals on the matter of unidentified flying gentlemen. Yeah, this should help aid in our investigations. Is it a drawing of the inspector? It is a drawing of the UFO. Very helpful. It's an illustration of the starship clipped from Dorian's publication. Having this on hand should make it much easier to explain what we're looking for. I'll ask around the markets hereabouts. As for you, well, I've yet to venture beyond the food stalls, so practically anywhere else but here. If you learn any useful information, come and find me around this spot. I'll be stuffing my, ears with delicious, intelligence. It is the Landsguard duty to remain vigilant for threats and unusual developments that may warrant their intervention. It may be prudent to visit the Bright Plume post and question the soldiers. You should show that picture to the city guards and ask if they sighted anything similar. I'll concentrate my efforts on the stall keepers and their delicious offerings of, information. Sure. Sure. We all definitely believe that. Jaw. Yes, is there something I can help you with? I'm looking for a starship. Here's an illustration of a starship clipped from the Thavnarian Truth. It looks kind of something like this. Actually, I have seen a vessel like that. It was some time before Zerl Jaw's flying ships appeared. I watched it limp northwards through the skies above Tuliolal, wobbling about like it might crash to the ground at any moment. Huh, so it must have crash-landed into Alexandria afterwards. As I said, the vessel was flying north, but the way it was reeling about like a sailor drunk on mezcal, I don't imagine it stayed aloft much longer. Very helpful, thank you. What's up? Searching for a strange ship, you say? Yep, it looks something like this. I know, it's an embarrassing illustration, but it's the best I could get. Yes, I saw a flying disc just like that during a patrol in the Shaloni. Slowly drifting towards the ground and seemed to come down somewhere in Yaslani. You're determined to find it, then that's where you should try next. What were they calling that place that's covered by the dome now? Heritage Found? From what I could see, this ship of yours went down over in Yaslani. I suggest you take a look around Heritage Found. Alright, let's go deliver the news to Nashu. I hope they give me more charges of this someday in the future. My forays into the stalls bore no fruit at all. None star-shaped anyway. How's your harvest then?
We gotta go to Heritage Found. It's probably over there.
Those are some solid leads. Nice work, Hinameki. By the sounds of it, the ship was malfunctioning and eventually came down somewhere in the north of here.
You sound too smart to be Nashu.
Any luck, this hostage...
Nope, there we go. I stand corrected. This is definitely Nashu.
Any luck, this hostage found you mentioned will be the place we find the inspector.
Think you mean Heritage Found? I doubt it will be so simple, and certainly not without incident, knowing how matters involving the inspector tend to go. Nope, that's too detailed and brainy of a response for her to understand. I think you mean Heritage Found.
That doesn't sound right. Well, with you as my escort, I'm sure we'll arrive at the right spot eventually, and none the worse for wear. Shall we head off?
Alright, you weren't listening. Cool. Cool, cool. I got you. Let's go. Oh, there's the potato. Shit, I should have looked for the potato. Shit, I should have looked for him to begin with. Gotta be on a mission now. Where there's a Nashu, there's a potato. Alright, where are you, little rascal? No?
Capybara.
Him.
Yet. My hair's all crackly and zappy.
Yep.
This is where the starship supposedly came down, so let's start our search for the inspector. Standard investigative procedure dictates that we question the residents for possible gentleman sightings. Off we go.
Are we sure there was no little potato somewhere? Not that I can see. Under the bridge, like a troll. Right. You're a Dorian. Nope. Okay. Unrelated. Looking for potatoes. What if he couldn't get here? See anybody in any obvious spots nearby? Wouldn't be that far away, I imagine, so. Ashu? Nope, never mind, he's right there. Getting electrocuted.
Aha! This man could be a potential witness.
I think he's enjoying that a little too much. Hi, have you seen a spaceship? This is a small settlement and all its inhabitants are known to me. If a man of such distinctive appearance and demeanor were among us, I'm sure I would have noticed. Perhaps he's wandering around somewhere inside Solution 9? So many more people, he could easily go unnoticed in the crowds. You were here as Queen Sphne's guest, as I recall. If your companion wishes to enter the city as well, then I suggest you make arrangements with the sentry at the tower entrance.
Ooh, Solution 9! That sounds promising. Thank you for the tip.
This dude's having way too much fun. I think he found... You know what? Don't kink shame. Let him live his best little potato life. Fried potatoes are also very tasty. I'm afraid your friend won't be entering Solution 9 unless you can convince the sentry to let her in. Alright, I'm on it. Can't be around here because he's busy getting electrocuted, but I'm sure he'll be along shortly.
Hello? Hi.
We'll use this one, but I just have to be careful. Not the robot voice I was thinking we're gonna get. Crap, what was my hotkey for this?
Visitor detected. Verifying access rights. Unlimited Everkeep access confirmed.
What about my friend here? I would like her to come in too.
Scanning unregistered visitor. Warning, warning. Explosive device detected. Entry denied.
I'm not carrying any explosives. This is medicine for treating Inspector Hildibrand's condition.
Explosive. Medicinal compounds. Error does not compute.
It's really quite simple. Inspector Hildibrand was sucked up by Mr. Poo-Poo's malfunctioning starship, after which it proceeded to drag him thousands of miles away and deposit him here. Ergo, you need to let me pass so I can blow away his brain cobwebs.
We spreading dumb? I think we're unteaching the AI.
Error. Logic circuits overloading. Emergency shutdown initiated.
Oh dear.
Must be nap time. Guess we can just go in.
Ah, there he is. They're not even being subtle with it anymore. He's just there. They're hiding behind us. Perhaps he's not quite yet entered. We are at the very entrance.
Oh, that's a good-sized city. Well, there's one sure way of locating the inspector in a place like this. There's an ongoing case, and that's where he'll be. Let's head up to the lively part of town and look into any nefarious incidents, shall we? Do you know which is the lively part? View, and it's in the eastern sector, you say? Right then, let's get to it.
Nope, that's gonna go well. I must take the boba teleporter. I just want to see if Yoshida's potatoes thing. We're looking for a different potato though. One that looks there. There he is. I found him. Look at him creeping.
Oh, you don't say. And then what happened?
Hello, Philemon. Case, huh? Heard talk of an odd squealing creature of some sort, but I don't know if that's the kind of thing you're looking for. Odd creature leaves rather a lot to the imagination, doesn't it? I wonder what they meant by squealing. Archie? Laid back Milala.
Recent troubles? I saw a pair of soldiers mobilizing not moments earlier, responding to a disturbance, it seems. I don't think it was far from here, but I'm a bit hazy on the details.
Sorry, I can't give you more specific directions. Forthright Hewn. Hewn, what a way to spell.
What, like a crime?
Now that you mentioned it, I did hear about a theft recently. Our city is peaceful by and large, but anywhere you have a lot of people, incidents like these are bound to occur. Despite this recent robbery, the residents of Solution 9 are a law-abiding folk, or so I'd like to think. Vector accidentally borrow something without asking and no intention of returning. So, what'd you find out?
Oh, I also learned about that theft. Something was stolen from a nearby tavern, apparently. Got directions to the scene of the crime, so let's head over together.
It's probably gonna have the squeaking thing involved, isn't it? Is this? This is cute. That thief absconded with an aged bottle of spirits, the most expensive one in my establishment. I demand you find this criminal at once. No need to get all hot and bothered. The culprit is right under your nose. Did he actually age? Oh no, he's just being noir. Got it. That kind of gravelly. Admit it, you punk. Pinch the hooch. Me? But why would you think? Supply of souls cut off. Folks with a habit of turning to the black market rackets. Luxury goods of dubious provenance is one way of paying the asking price. A top-shelf bottle of juice would make for a fine trade, I'd say. Lost his marbles, not who get 'em. By the by, you know there's a method for identifying contraband souls. Your regulator logs would tell the tale. Don't want to let us check 'em? Be my guest. Take a gander at the cabinet where the bottle was stored, and the lock shows obvious signs of tampering. Electro-picking tools are awful hard to handle, aren't they? Most amateurs get singed, but you... scorch marks all over your mitts. Give it up, kid. We got you dead to rights. Oh, no! After they suspended soul provisions, I couldn't stop worrying about the future. It was a moment of weakness. Save it for the authorities. Take him away, boys. Alright, we gotta fix him. He's being too proper. He's being actually effective. This is not acceptable. It is pretty.
That was Inspector Hildibrand, wasn't it?
Like a smarter noir version, yes. He didn't look very... He didn't sound very gentlemanly.
Must still be in shock after the starship's crash landing. Healthy dose of nauseous delights will put him into rights.
Maybe not in such a populated area. Let's make absolutely sure it's him first, shall we? No, it's definitely him. Let's maybe not do this around other people and more specifically the guards.
I suppose it would be responsible for the course of that would be the responsible course of action. Come on, we should hurry along before we lose sight of this ungentlemanly Hildibrand.
Whoa! Hey buddy, what are you doing here? I have reached out to a few of my childhood acquaintances, but as we suspected, only those without regulators have any recollection of Morning Queen's fiend. Totally didn't know he was there. Nashi Makaraka is here, so where is my potato? Tomato. I've ever been down here. That's a lie. I have. Never mind. I recognize it now. That's how I originally got up here. Anyway. I don't see the... Don't see the potato.
Look, that away. Or it was more of a mosey.
You've been hanging out around the Thavnarian truth for too long. He does look older. "30 years do this to you." Egg. Hard-boiled detective now.
He looks like the inspector, but he's a touch old and mopey.
The dome had some time travel shenanigans.
30 years passed inside the dome? Then if Inspector Hildibrand was here when it happened, that would put him in his 50s. Must have been living here so long that he's forgotten everything about his previous life. Luckily, I'm just the thing to jog his memory.
Oh, if Godbird's gonna be happy about aging, but okay. Think I wouldn't notice such an obvious tale? Know what your game is, but bombs ain't toys. Best put them away before you hurt yourself. Like me, I see neither of you are sporting regulators. I suggest you be more careful with the only lives you got.
Sir, don't you remember us? You're Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Gentleman Inspector Extraordinaire.
I've been called a lot of things, but nothing so insulting as a gentleman. Why that old fool? Too many debts and regrets. Detective Hard-boiled. Hard-boiled? Did I read that correctly? Was there an I in the middle of hard-boiled?
Very impressive. But even with that name and those odd clothes, you might as well be Inspector's older, more wrinkled twin.
Nope, I read it correctly. It says hard-boiled. Hate to break it to you, but you're barking up the wrong tree. Made him a fake egg. It's a bomb. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. It's from Nashu. I don't trust it.
You seem awfully fond of those hard-boiled eggs. Here, this one's on me.
Made that with a furnace. Thanks, Dollface. You're a peach. It's a bomb. It's definitely a bomb. Terrorism! Just kidding. but that's what they're gonna think, and we're gonna get arrested. That's one way to cure a hangover. You got me good.
Maybe we really do have the wrong person. The indestructibility is awfully Mandeville-like, though.
I've seen a few cases of this twin person phenomena in the dome. It might be someone who shares the same soul as Hildibrand. Yeah, twin person phenomenon.
I'm not sure what's going on here, but I can see that you're not who I thought you were, and that we need to keep searching.
Missing person, is it? That's the rub. You can leave the sleuthing to me.
Oh, we could really use your help.
By the sounds of things, this fellow looks a lot like me. What did you say his name was? Hildibrand? Find him, don't you worry. Feel a hunch coming on already. Huh, so it's 9th Shard Hildy. Got it.
We sure that isn't the inspector?
Remains to be seen. That definitely went some places. Where's my potato? Seemed to be stalker free. Weird.
I'd like to rush off and do some investigative work on my own, but this city still has my head spinning. I think I'll wait and see if this Detective Hildibrand is as good as he seems. Meanwhile, you should get back to whatever it is that famous adventurers do when they're not embroiled in one of our fantastical cases.
Sure. Oh. Dame had me looking for a needle in a neon-lit haystack. A city with an allergy to sleep. Twin of mine has well and most truly lost himself. The trail was colder than the ice at the bottom of my glass. I like how Brand Hill's here too, but I could smell it in the air, like the cloying stench of a cheap perfume. Conspiracy. Stay tuned for further episodes. Detective Hard-Boiled. And there's Godbert. Uh-oh. Nice smoke effect on that explosion, though. Looks really good. And there's Godbird being naked in the background, doing Mandeville.
Inspector has finally set foot upon the Dawn Trail. Get ready for inconceivably further Hildibrand adventures. Who knows what his case will be this time? When it happens, whatever happens, you'll be there on the scene.
I like how the goblin has his hat. Oh, and his glasses too.
Detective Hardboiled has taken the case of the displaced inspector, so for the moment we wait to see what he digs up. I'm sure there'll be plenty for us to do when the clues start to pour in.
Yeah, but like... We definitely saw him in the dumpster, right? So I gotta go check the dumpster. I can remember where the dumpsters are. Nope, that's not Hildibrand. Maybe there's a different dumpster. And then Brandahild was just chilling somewhere, having some drinks with people. But you know, he'd really stick out. I'm gonna look though.
Dumpsters, hello.
Oh, that's just some trash people picking on Milala over there. Oh. That was Hildibrand. I definitely thought that was going towards something more, but it looks like it's just Hildibrand this time. No link to anything else going on. So no relic weapons or anything else. It's just Hildy. On that note, we do gotta unlock the new custom deliveries, so we can do that really quick, and then we'll do story time. Yeah, I don't think there's there's no other dumpsters I can think of. All right. Let's go unlock the crafting. I can spend 700. I didn't want to spend over 1,000, but I'll spend 700.
Bum 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 bum.
I just walk down, he's right there.
Bum 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 bum.
Railroad employee, hello, hello. Oh, it's a sheep. Laying new tracks, this railroad employee has come to Tilly Lal in search of you, specifically.
There you are, I'm so glad I found you.
Hold on, since I don't need the robot voice anymore, which did come in handy for the different robot, it's not the one I thought it was. Let me switch back to my regular mic. And it's working. All right, cool, we're good.
I work over at Shock Total Railing. Shenza asked me to send you his way if I happen to see you. Not to alarm you, but there's trouble with the company again. It would mean the world if you could stop by and speak with him. He said he'd be waiting for you at Shaloni Station. If you can spare the time, Shenza said he'd be waiting for you at Shaloni Station. As for me, I'm off to Wachumeki Meki. We're hurting for supplies, and I've been charged with finding an artisan to shore up our stock. I'm on it!
I think this is the closest one. I didn't see how much it costs, I'm just gonna go.
Here. Hello?
Shenza, hello, my friend. Sweet baby sunbeard, it's Kiranameki. What a relief to see you. First, I want to say how much we all appreciate you and the Dawn Servants for finding a solution to our noise problem. With our new and improved train ready to roll, Shock Roll Railing is back in business. But for some reason, things have grown tense between Nitowikwe and the chief. When we ask them about it, they insist that nothing's wrong. That's why we need you, Kirameki. For all you've done for us, they'd be fools not to trust you. So what do you say? Please help us figure out what's got him so hot under the collar. They're at the office now over in Sheshinwezi Springs. Go on ahead and I'll be right behind you. I'd come with you now, but they'd tie me to the tracks if they found out I dropped what I was doing. It'll only take me a few minutes to wrap this up, I promise.
Capybara!
Kappa.
Oh! Hoi hoi!
Oh, it's you, Kirameki. Sorry, but as you can see, I got my hands full at the moment. Malika, hello? What's up? Enza? Sapya? You two didn't ask her here, did you? See what I mean? Whole damn company can tell something's off, Nitowikwe. Oh, sorry. Oop, that wrong one. See what I mean? Whole damn company can tell something's off, Nitowikwe. We need to come to an agreement on this. Well, nothing you say is gonna change my mind, so I suggest you start listening to reason. You know what they say, happy wife, happy life. Reason? Give me one good reason that we ought to take you out of the driver's seat. I don't want to drive no more. Oh, don't be so dramatic. Look at you all shaking like Roni calves. Why are you three even here? They asked me to come and, you know, mediate because that's kind of sometimes my job. Boys got so worried that they came crying to you. Well, I'm sorry they dragged you into this. Now that you're here, though, I reckon we could use the unbiased perspective. Fine. Want the full story? Yes, I do. Please tell me. Lay it on me. I'm ready for it. As you all know, Valkona and Kirameki went to great lengths to help us construct a much quieter locomotive. We've resumed northbound service to just outside of Vanguard, where the tracks end, but our work is far from over. As it stands, our company is faced with two large-scale projects. First is to keep our daily operations running smoothly in order to bring in revenue. Business as usual, in other words. Second, however, is a new challenge, reconnecting the tracks through Vanguard to the Yasalani Station. We're willing to perform the repairs ourselves, of course, but the land now falls under Alexandria's dome beyond our jurisdiction. Can't just leave the tracks as they are, so I've been negotiating with the Wing of Reflection behind the scenes to make the necessary arrangements. Top of all his other duties, of which there are far too many. The new train is in many ways still a prototype, and we have a supply shortage. That's why I offered to step down from driving to run the station, but this elf won't even consider it. He'd rather work himself into an early grave, I suppose. Well, he just knows you're happiest at the throttle is all. It's clear you're both worried sick about each other, so why not? The point is, I wouldn't need to give up driving if we could just convince a competent artisan to keep us stocked. Hello? An artisan, you say? Look no further. I could help. What price? I'm not that cutthroat. These are nice people. Other people, though, I'd be like... I got you. You fam. You built the bomb for me. We had to listen to a really awkwardly timed song while doing it. Take commissions, Kirameki? Well, now that changes things. Fewer duties on the administrative side, she could manage both well enough. Can I count on you to assist Nitowikwe with our daily operations, then? Sure, I got you. Huzzah! Thank you, Kirameki. He'll be an asset to the railing. Well then, we have much to discuss. Will you step outside with me for a moment? Sure. Right, now that Kitameki has all matters well in hand, the two of us had better get back to work. Thanks again. See you later, Shenza. I can't thank you enough for offering to help. If I'd known you'd take commissions, I'd have asked long ago. Sometimes I'm busy, though. Once a week is all I can manage. So. I can scarcely express how relieved I am to have your help in this, Kitameki. Now I'll get straight to the point. You ever tried keeping a locomotive quiet? It'll take plenty of polish and plenty more maintenance, keeping everything in pristine condition. Okay, I hear you. To ensure the work flows smoothly, allow me to introduce you to our local vendors. Hello, local vendors. If you require any materials, there's a good chance Paya Pui sells them. As for As for Kanana, she'll take your scripts in exchange for a variety of quality goods. Anyway, I'll leave you to get started. Whenever you have something to deliver, come and speak with me. Custom deliveries unlocked. Satisfaction guaranteed. Nitowikwe. Thanks for coming, Kitameki. We need all the help we can to keep our new train running whisper quiet. What do you need from me? Hush, hush. I know. Stop it. Rail grindstone. Okay, I got you. That easy, huh? Oh shoot, I shouldn't have did that one. No! No point, but do it for fun. Alright, that's 6 rail grindstones. I still need gear. I don't think I do. I bought everything. Let me check really fast. Oh shit, wait, no. This is new gear. Is it? No. No, it's not. Oh, I'm on gathers. I'm on the wrong one. Something doesn't look right. There we go. Yep, but all the gem rise stuff. Okay, not super worried about. Here. I know how this works. I understand. Stop it. Trying to keep the train running. The key to keeping the train running quiet is to minimize creaks and groans. That's why we regularly polish any parts that are quick to wear, like the wheels. Hey, Meki, you've outdone yourself. I could scour the springs and never find something half as good as this. I'll just turn these all into you, and then we'll go get ready for story time. I only needed to make 3! Shit, I forgot! My bad. Forgot that's how these work when you start out.
Sorry it took a while. As I was shelving supplies, Nitowikwe got curious to see your handiwork. Suffice to say, you've exceeded his expectations too.
Yeah, I do my best.
We really owe you, Kirameki. With our train running so quietly, the Ronique are back to grazing undisturbed, and the locals have you to thank for that. Passengers like it too, and the way they're happy, the railing's happy. Watching these dome folk cry tears of joy after being kept from Shaloni for so long, couldn't be prouder of our work. Speaking of which, there was another project I'd like your help with. Give me some time to iron out the particulars and I'll be in touch, alright?
I lied, we're still doing more of this. Gotta craft 3 more things. Marriage mediator? Oh my god. Okay.
Now then, I'd like to speak with you about the next project I have in mind. Something I think our passengers need. For the Dome Dwellers, some 30 years have passed, yeah? That would explain why so many of our southbound riders are middle-aged and older. Yet, save for our noise dampening efforts, the train has largely remained the same, particularly the interior. With poor lighting and hard wooden seats, I doubt our elderly passengers will find it as tolerable as before, so it's time we made some improvements. Going forward, we're looking for supplies or materials to brighten up and soften our carriage interiors. Hope we can count on you.
I got you. I'll hold on to these things in case I need them in the future. Actually, no, I won't. They were so easy to make. I just take up space now. Old. It's fine. It took me like no time to make these. Carriage seat components, just 3. Plush carriage seating. Alright. There you go. Here's 3 plush carriage seatings. These luxurious cushioned seats offer superior comfort for train rides of any duration.
I appreciate everything you're able to bring us, Kirameki. Because of you, I can manage operations from the driver's cab if need be. And on my days off, whenever you're not around, I sit in the office and balance the books. It was rough going at first, but I've nearly got the hang of it now.
Alright, cool. Okay, now we're gonna go and prepare. There's a specific place I want to go for us to do our reading of the last 3 Tales Under the New Moon. Where is it? Somewhere around here, no? Oh, nope, it's way over there. Apparently, I didn't even know where I was going. Actually, I totally forgot. Need our bird. Gotta check out the new barding. Mind the fact that it's really dark right now. Starlight Stalls. Very cute. What if I want you to know the antlers for right now? Yeah, mix it up a little bit. Look at the feet. I guess that is the best looking one. Oops. Nope. There we go. No, new look for our bird. What a cutie. Yeah, this looks right. Oh, I heard word on the street today that they changed the music. There's Triple Triad here! Changed the music to the Christmas version. There's stuff here! Hold on, where are you? There you go. If you have any burning questions about this place or anything, you'll be— oh, okay, I've already talked to you about this. There's Triad. We'll just do a couple rounds each. We'll do a couple rounds each. Maybe just one each. I can do it off stream. I don't want to do this. Okay, I see you. Ooh. Play. Draw. How many does the other one have? I just want to see what you guys have. Swap ass. The fucking archangels. Okay. I can't do anything about that. Oh, actually, I can, but it's a little risky. fine. I can use this. Yep. This. This. And then it's gonna be a draw again. Oop. That's okay. Chulu divining 5-card Otherworthers. Looking the fool. Oh, right. These are adventures. Right. Anyway. We're just gonna chill over here and enjoy the Christmas music. Do some story time. Alright. Let's go to our story time screen. Sweet. Okay, and then let me get the Tales of Adventure. Oh, sorry, Tales Under the New Moon pulled up here. Trying to figure out what music to play while we do this, and I think this is the... Alright! So, continuing on from yesterday, we're going to read Tales Under the New Moon. We have 3 more stories to read. We finished the top 4, As Azure Fades, Bringer of Shadow, Bringer of Light in Storm's Wake, and A Legacy of Hope. And we have 3 more to do, with another one coming out in a few days. So perhaps we'll do that after Deep Dungeon next week. Alright. Start with this one here. Whispers from the Dark. Let me just pour myself some tea and then we'll get started here. Okay. Here we go. Whispers from the Dark. Proud Alamigo, squirming under the Empire's heel. Castrum Oriens poised atop its western border with Gridania. Concealed as he was by the shroud of the rift, the slight upturn of Lahabre's lips could hardly be thought indecorous. He waited as the black-plated figure traversed the castrum in the moonless black. Gaius von Belsar, legatus of the 14th Legion, was far from his comfortable chambers now. No guards watched as he took up an unassuming position in the corner of a lonely storage sector. It was conduct far beneath a legatus' station. Veritable cloak and daggery. But then, what choice did he have? Poor fellow. Lahabre's smile widened quite against his volition. He feared he might laugh at any moment. This will do. Show yourself, Gaius ordered into the night. The legatus had been hand-selected for the task ahead. It would not do to keep him waiting. Lahabre called upon a trifling bit of magic to reposition himself behind the man. How kind of you to arrange for this reunion. Presume my gift was to your liking? Yep, there's a picture of Gaius with Lahabrea behind him, alright. The first conversation had taken place only a few days prior. Doubtless planning decisive action to turn the unfolding turmoil to his advantage, Gaius had taken to solitary rumination upon his return from Cartano. He was not the sort of fool to take his safety inside the walls of the castrum for granted, however. Even deep in thought, he was quick to notice the uninvited presence at his back, as swift to draw steel. A mortal intruder would have been dead in an instant. Lahabrea, on the other hand, had merely drifted like a shadow from the blade's path, unperturbed. Black Wolf, he acknowledged. I am Lahabrea of the Asians. I come to offer you the power to conquer icons. That power had lain dormant beneath Jirabania for 5 millennia, lost to history with its elegant right makers. He who unearthed it, the Asian whispered, would no longer need to cower behind steel walls. Gaius had given no indication that he believed the shadowy figure's tale, yet neither did he interrupt its telling. If nothing else, the intruder's presence confirmed to him that the fermentarium's reports of the paragons were accurate. And thus did he see fit to dispatch his most trusted tribunus to excavate the site and ascertain the truth. All had unfolded as promised. The legatus had acquired his proof, and now he found himself inclined to hear more. You will soon order a new conquest of Eorzea. For one such as you, there can be no finer prize than the Ultima weapon. Or am I mistaken? You are well informed as to the inner workings of the Empire. The deepening crease in Gaius's brow was evident despite the concealment of his helmet. But what of those of your so-called weapon? It will not serve. Oh? It was where you said it would be. A machina of immense proportions. Yet it is little more than a fossilized relic. Though La Habrea had left closer inspection of the weapon to his inferiors, he was well aware it was inert. There was no need to divulge this just yet, however. Amongst the countless mortal lifetimes the Ascian had witnessed, Gaius von Belsars was exceptional. This was a man that had subjugated 5 city-states and still hungered for more, who executed orders without compromise, never hesitating to strike his enemy at the first opportunity. Such a pragmatist would not have slunk his way into this shadowy corner merely to express his displeasure. He wanted something. La Habrea waited. Given its age, its condition was not unexpected, nor is it a problem in itself. The Black Wolf hid his consternation admirably. His words were carefully chosen. The Empire has some experience with Algan technology. Analysis of comparable relics should yield a means to restore the weapon. He went on, his tone almost conversational. And then he stopped. Yet it would all be for naught without its core. La Habrea smiled. He had been correct to judge this matter worthy of his personal attention. I see you grasp the predicament. Spreading his arms for dramatic effect, he continued. Slaying of gods requires energy beyond measure. Thus were the vaunted technologists of Ala compelled to employ a source of power even they did not fully understand. Spare me the theatrics, Gaius interjected. That you thought to tempt me with the weapon is proof enough of your knowledge. The nature and whereabouts of the core are no mystery to you. Indeed, La Habrea paused before resuming his tale. Though they knew little beyond the fact that it worked, what the Alagans employed as a source of energy was itself a storied relic. La Habrea flicked the fingers of one outstretched hand to reveal a Stygian crystal, the very power that the legatus desired. I entrust it to you, and no other. The star might know the peace it once enjoyed. Your hopes for the star do not concern me, Ascian. If this stone can grant me the power to end the succession of feeble rulers and false gods, to free this land and its people from their enervating influence, then that is the use to which it shall be put. Of course, wield it as your own hopes decree, or in the name of those you would protect. I shall not obstruct you. Gaius made no move to accept the crystal. Perhaps he had yet harbored reservations about aligning himself with one whose true nature was beyond his comprehension. But not for long. To a man who dreamed of bringing the world a heal in the name of his radiance, the call of power would be irresistible. Go forth, conquer, rule. Those were the words of your emperor, were they not? The legatus' silence remained pleasingly steeped in suspicion. Yet you alone see the greater cause. You alone see how unconquered lands cry out for a strong hand. It had taken some time to find a suitable candidate for this endeavor. Naturally, La Habrea's agents had furnished him with considerable background information in the course of their search. That Gaius was a formidable martialist and an iron-fisted ruler weighed in his favor. But it was his fair-mindedness that had been the most compelling factor. He welcomed talented recruits of any origin, and was so diligent in his care for freezing orphans that, had he belonged to a more religious nation, he would surely have been destined for sainthood. Such virtuous zeal made it a near inevitability that he would seek to make use of Ultima Weapon's power, never believing it could beget the chaos the darkness commanded. May have been watching me, Ascian, but do not presume to know my mind. Though his words were defiant, they rang faintly of defeat. Gaius stepped forward, his hand outstretched to take the proffered stone, but he paused at last. Tell me, how did you come to possess the core? As he searched for an appropriate response, image drifted up from the recesses of his mind. He glimpsed faces of which he had no memory. Why should they appear to him now? La Habrea forced back the unease before it could overtake him. though the resulting pause did not escape his interrogator's attention. We retreated lest it be discovered by the ignorant. Not a soul alive understands the crystal's true power, nor have any ever. The unease resurfaced, given new life by the thought of a distant past. When did he himself learn of the heart of Sabik? Whom? It was of no moment. Naught mattered beyond the rejoining, which would return the star to its rightful state. He had labored to that noble end for over 12,000 years without rest, abandoning countless bodies as they became too frail to sow the seeds of chaos. Even as the years whittled and the centuries gouged, and the millennia ground his once birthright passion to gray in light. Hold on. And the millennia ground his once bright passion to gray in lifeless dust. Even as time scoured his heart of the faces he had once loved, he could no longer recall his family, nor even the face that had first been his own. But his purpose remained, along with Zodiark and those who would see him restored. That was sufficient. There was no cause for this discomfort. Nor have any ever, Gaius prompted. La Habrea assumed an impassive expression. He had said all he intended to say. He only needed to place the crystal in Garlean's open palm. Won't those damned faces disappear? Smiling woman with a spark of curiosity in her eyes. A man with flaming red hair and a determined brow. Who were they? No. Victory was close at hand. Gaius would use the ultima weapon to sow darkness into Eorzea, and even should the servants of light attempt to thwart the rejoining, the Orsites' magic would lay them low. If only he could surrender the accursed thing. Let him hold on to it. That's La Habrea holding on to the heart of Sabik. Why do they stay my hand? They should have been a long-forgotten memory, cast aside in pursuit of his duty like countless others. Why do they remain to plague me when so much else was lost? Vexed, he thrust the heart of Sabik into Gaius' hand, and the faces were gone. He would not explain himself to the legatus. Set once more upon his long-decided course, he turned away from the crystal. Away from the voices that called to his heart still. Ooh. So that's either Athena and Erechthonios, or Athena and his past self as Hephaestus that he's thinking of. Interesting. So we've gotten some La Habrea backstory there. Alright. Next up, Footprints of a Traveler. The Song of Oblivion, which had wrought untold ruin upon Aetheris, had been silenced once and for all. In the wake of this joyous event, the Traveler and his brethren had convened at the heart of their realm to discuss the future of the star for the last time. At length, the proceedings came to an end, with the inseparable siblings who chaired the assembly directing their closing words at Oshan. This is a story about the 12. Awesome.
May your final journey be fulfilling, Nemea said, with a smile gentle as starlight.
To this, her brother, Althic, added, his voice tinged with hope. Look forward to receiving this adventure here in the Omphalos. Oshan said not in answer, choosing only to nod. In that moment he was overcome by emotion, and he knew that it would be the same for others. Dalek was as relieved that man's history would endure as he was proud of those who had fought to preserve it. Azema's breast swelled with the elation that after so very long, Banal's plan had succeeded. Alona and Menfina, meanwhile, shared in their ardent admiration of their children's courage. Fondly spoke of the day the starship Ragnarok had set sail for the edge of existence. How they had hoped that mankind would triumph, and how they hoped now that their long-held wish would be fulfilled. The wish that their aether, accumulated over millennia of prayer, would be restored to the stars, a blessing both for those who lived and those yet unborn, and that their cores, forged in the souls of Anaz's stalwart allies, would return to the ethereal sea to arise as new life. With the final days averted, they had concluded that the time was right to take the necessary step, face and be felled by their beloved children. Marigot and Ralgar promptly set about preparing the stage for what would be the first and only battle. Limlane transformed into a seabird and took wing for Limsa Lominsa, that she might gaze upon the deeds of her faithful one more time. And assuming his guise as the mortal Derek, Oshan set forth in the Omphalos to enlist the aid of the hero, central to their plan. Oh, it's a lovely picture of the entire 12 all gathered around. Including Dalamud. Although accorded dominion over mountains, Oshan was better known as the deity of travel. He who roamed the star and shared in men's solitude. In his role as the Wanderer, he had spent more time without the god's domain than within, and was careful ever to re-enter the world of men where he had left it. This precaution he took lest rumors spread of a peculiar traveler capable of vanishing and manifesting at will, unlike the realm's many aetheryte-bound adventurers. So it was that he first teleported to a quiet corner of Treespeak in the Twellswood. The nearby fauna scattered in shock at his sudden appearance, but no other eyes were present to bear witness. He took a deep breath, then set off westward with the nonchalance of a traveler carrying on after a rest. It was not long before he heard the rumors of Murmur Rills, the river that marked the start of Alder Springs. Prior to the gathering in Omphalos, Derek had sojourned nearby in Hurstmill, and had been able to enjoy several relaxing days in the area unremarked. Despite the hamlet's relative seclusion, thanks to the steady stream of adventurers who passed by it, hold on, let me reread that. Enjoyed several relaxing days in the area unremarked, despite the hamlet's relative seclusion, thanks to the stream of steady adventurers who passed by it. During that time, he had become acquainted with the local wood whalers, and was thus favored with warm smiles by those standing guard when he crossed over the bridge. As he proceeded along the forest trail, his eyes narrowing against the descending sun, Derek pondered the route ahead. It was but a short distance to Coerthas, and thence to Mordona, where, posing as an explorer, he would approach the sons of St. Koinak, with the claim that he had discovered the entrance to the mythical Phantom Realm. Far too brief a journey. The words rose unbidden to his lips, and he knew a pang of melancholy. To ensure that his quarry undertook the request, their meeting needed to seem natural. He could not simply seek out the now disbanded scion of the Seventh Dawn, much less their champion directly. Given said individual's keen intuition, Derek knew his true identity was not like to remain hidden for long, but it would not do to arouse suspicion from the outset. Thus would he contrive to have the petition reach the students of Odessian by way of a closely connected organization. Such was the plan that Thalik and Naldal had conceived, and the reason Derek was now bound for Mordona. Would that it could have been somewhere farther away. He looked down at the trail upon which he walked. The passage of innumerable feet had trodden the earth into a hard-packed path, much as the weight of momentous events, one layered upon the other, had defined the course of mankind's history. As a god, he yearned to become one with all the souls in the ethereal sea, but as a traveler, he could not deny that a part of him still yearned to continue exploring the star, observing men as they made their way. As such thoughts tugged at his mind, Derek passed through the gates of Fallgird Float. Built upon a lake lest any trees be felled, the village was famed for the hospitality of its inn. The location made it a popular waypoint for travelers and merchants en route to Coerthas, and even now a group of adventurers could be seen at the Aetheryte on the Central Isle. He could not help but smile as he skirted the crowd, close enough to regard them, but far enough to escape their notice. And it was then that someone called out to him. "Here, you're not heading out now, are you?" He turned toward the voice to see a man sitting on a bench, likely a resident of the float. "Only it gets dangerous after dark. You'd be better off staying the night at the Bob and Cork if you ask me." Somewhat bemused, he glanced up to see that night had indeed begun to fall, and that the lampposts were already aglow throughout the village. "Thank you for your concern," he replied, eventually finding his words. "But I must press on. I am in some haste, you see." It was true enough. Derek's brethren had bid him find the adventurer as soon as possible, but quite apart from that, he could not bring himself to deprive another of a bed. One of the 12, it was only natural that he placed the needs of mortals before his own. The kindly resident's gaze drifted down to Derek's feet, and it appeared as if he had something else to say. But after a moment's silence, he seemed to think better of it and bade Derek safe travels. He thanked the man once more before taking his leave. The scenery changed dramatically the instant he stepped out of Fallgird Float. The area had once been home to a lush and towering forest like the rest of the Twellswood, but large swaths of it had since been laid waste by fragments of Dalamud, which had rained down during the 7th Umbral Calamity. What met his gaze was a scarred land whose boughs lay exposed, with naught remaining of its ancient residents save jagged stumps and gnarled roots. For the benefit of the Twellswood's surviving inhabitants, however, roads were still maintained and patrolled. Taking advantage of the rent earth, industrious souls now gathered here in droves in hopes of striking rich mineral veins. Truly, the children of man are nothing if not resilient. Determined to reach Corthus before the last light faded, Derek made to quicken his steps, only to be stopped in his tracks by a familiar voice. Ere you go any further, there's something you may wish to know. He spun on his heels to spy a hovering seedling with a pair of hand-like vines raised to its chin, and recognized it at once as Nufika's avatar. Oh, Nufika, okay. Ere you go any further, there's something you may wish to know. Okay. That you should call out to me here, he began, his brow darkening. What is it?
Pray, look down,
Nufika instructed, her tone amused. Derek did as he was bidden, and immediately noticed a baby Opo-Opo by his feet. Trembling faintly, it grasped at the corner of his cloak with a tiny hand, and, looking squarely up at him, let out a pleading whimper. His eyes widened in surprise. You've been following me, little one. Since when?
Since before Falgard float, Nufika answered in the creature's stead. Its pack fell prey to a beast of the forest, leaving it orphaned and wounded. When it saw you passing by, it decided to follow you.
As the patron deity of Gridania, Nufika had no doubt come to watch her faithful while their brethren made their preparations, and in the course of her observations, she must have caught sight of him, along with his unexpected companion.
Since you seemed entirely oblivious to its existence, I thought it best to bring it to your attention before you went too far. That's all. I shall be on my way now.
Without another word, Nufika transformed into an orb of light and vanished into the darkening wood. Derek regarded the Opo-Opo, his face the picture of consternation. The creature returned his gaze unflinchingly, trust and expectation plain in its large, innocent eyes. Alone and wounded as it was, it could not survive long in the forest, and to turn it away would be to betray its faith in him. Okay, music a little loud, maybe? Hold on. You can turn it down a bit. Very well. The time I have left as a man, I can at least keep you company. Thus resolved, Derek resumed walking, using the light of a nearby lamppost to guide his steps. The frontier guard tower soon came into view. He ascended the rise that led to it, the Opo-Opo scampering after him, and announced himself to a woodwhaler, warming himself by a campfire. Might a traveler share the fire a while? My little companion here has come to some harm, and I would tend to its hurts, he said, gesturing to his charge. Sentry assented with a chuckle and waved for Derek to sit on one of the tree stumps that served as seats. Thus he duly did, taking the Opo-Opo into his arms, quickly located a deep gash on its hip. When injured, he knew wild animals were wont to move normally so as not to appear vulnerable to would-be predators, but such a wound must have been painful to conceal. Derek rummaged in his knapsack and produced a pot of healing ointment, a gift from a merchant who had worried that he traveled too lightly. He applied a generous amount to the wound, glad of the chance to make use of it, and noted with satisfaction how the Opo-Opo ceased trembling and settled on his lap. Certainly trust you, the sentry observed, grinning. Now, assuming you intend to head through the pass, I would let your companion rest a spell. You might yet return to Falgard, but if you do not mind the lack of comforts, you're welcome to stay at the Spire. We always enjoy hearing the tales of travelers. Derek took in the sky as he considered his options. Night had well and truly set in, and the stars glinted like jewels scattered upon a veil of black. Press on to Corthus now would be punishing the baby Opo-Opo. This time it would be wise to heed the host's suggestion, he concluded. A tale in repayment for their kindness, then. The one he had overheard at a tavern in Ulda, perhaps. About those individuals known as inspectors who dealt with all manner of mysteries. Or of his visit to Alamigo in the days following the liberation. Or as he gazed into the flickering flames, searching the well of recollection, fragments of a distant memory came rising up. Of a woman with whom he had shared a campfire in the wilderness. She too had gazed in the flames as she passionately spoke of the joys of roaming free, seeing new lands and meeting new souls as she journeyed the star in search of problems to solve. Cast his mind to the past, present, and future. That woman who so loved the world, to the loyal comrades who shared her dreams, and to the adventurer in whom she had entrusted her hopes. Would they forgive him this indulgence and let him enjoy his final journey just a little while longer? Yopopo shifted in his lap and began to snore. Well, that settles it. With glinting eyes, he looked around at the gathered whalers and cleared his throat. Oh, there he is, sitting around the campfire. He's definitely talking about Vana. Just a bit, because he was a companion to Vana, so. They must have shared a campfire once upon a time. Alright. Last but not least for the evening, an abiding aspiration. In the nameless domain floating beneath an endless night sky walked a figure clad in ivory armor. Zero. Half mortal, half void sent. Around her, inexplicable structures piled haphazardly, one on top of another, bespoke a simple truth. That the master of this place was lost to reason. Indeed, the horde of void sent lurching towards her from the shadows seemed incapable of mortal speech, driven only by an insatiable hunger for aether. I had hoped for an exchange of words, but if it is to be blows, so be it. Centuries wielded the Reaper's scythe had not served to dull her swordplay. And with her graceful strokes, Momo made a big pee. Good job for him. Centuries wielding the Reaper's scythe had not served to dull her swordplay, and with graceful strokes she felled the encroaching creatures one by one. The last was larger than the rest, but dispatched in similarly effortless flourish of steel. Zero sheathed her blade. Our host, no doubt. Having watched the battle to its conclusion, an incongruous creature drifted forth. A Nixie, summoned by Zero's friends from another world. In this realm ravaged by darkness, it made for a precious companion, one well worth the regular morsels of aether required to maintain its presence. But as she lifted her hand to stroke the familiar's head, a Stygian pool of aether welled up beneath its floating form, from which a shadow reared, bent on devouring it. Damn it all. Even as Zero clasped the hilt of her blade, she heard a peal of thunder, and looked on bemused as the dark denizen was unmade by a timely bolt of lightning. Careless to let your guard down, Zero. Vestiges of the Levin spell cracked along the gauntleted fingers of a massive figure encased in heavy black armor. Another companion of Zero's, or rather a comrade. Much obliged, Golbez. Zero and Golbez together with a Nixie! Great picture. He nodded. That the two of them could share such a nonchalant exchange was still bizarre to her. It would seem our hope for this domain has come to naught, he began. None here possessed even a modicum of intelligence. Casually, he stretched out an arm to absorb the misty residual aether of the vanquished. Though he wore the armor of a mortal, Golbez had long since joined the ranks of Voidsent. Thus was bound by the rule which united them all. Devour or be devoured. The natural law of the void. Yet in the act of feeding, Zero saw him hesitate. He turned to face her. Aether here is for the taking. Aether here is for the taking. I desire it not, she replied with a slight shake of her head. Ambient aether is enough to sustain me. Golbez regarded her in silence for a moment. That is true, then you possess a strength unlike any other in this world, and a temperance to match. Wherefore do you deny yourself that which we all crave? I dislike the feeling of merging one's soul with another, so you have fed before. Zero turned away, wishing she still had the brim of her hat to hide behind, but Golbez's words hung stubbornly in the air. At length her lips parted, and she began to speak of things long past. Zero's mother was a Memoriate, a warrior who sealed away the power of Eidolons, creatures of great malefic power. In a battle against one such fiend, she had been bathed in a surge of darkness, which had tainted the kindling life in her womb, condemning her child to be born a daughter both of man and the abyss. All Zero remembered of her mother was a single bedtime story. The story of Zeromus, a hero who had appeared when the world was at its darkest to restore the boon of light. And though Zero knew the tale to be little more than a fantasy, it burned within her breast. Even as time passed, even after her mother was slain in battle, even after Zero could no longer remember the lines of her face or the color of her eyes, the tale remained etched in her heart. But reality is not as merciful as tales. For when the final Eidolon was at long last laid low, it did not herald an era of peace for mankind, but one of new conflict. Seduced by the very power they had once sought to vanquish, many former heroes turned their gaze upon their fellow man, their hunger for strength beyond sating. And thus the Memoriads who yet clung to the light, like Zero and her mother, set forth to defeat these traitors, not for the glory it might bring, but for hope. Alas, the Memoriads of Darkness were strong, brutal, and above all else, numerous. Only alongside stalwart allies could the likes of Zero hope to prevail against the corrupt. Yet how could she place any faith in fellowship? She, who had been ostracized as an aberration from birth, a child half mortal and half void-sent? She could not. And when at last a pair of knights bid her join them, she would not, her heart having long since become closed to the dream of companionship. Only I had given them a chance. Only I'd been stronger. Her defeat was not long in coming, the sheer number of her adversaries having rendered it inevitable. And it was in the very hour of her defeat, as she lay stricken on the battlefield, that it happened. Stars were blotted out in the heavens as a pall of black as pitch enveloped creation. The world broke. Yet her tale would not end there. For when the flood of darkness came crashing down, she was swept through a tear in reality under the rift, and what would prove a peculiar mercy. A place beyond time served to preserve her as she was, and saved her from the calamity which befell her home, whose fate she would discover when she found her way back through the faintest of fissures. What greeted her then was unrecognizable, a scene of destruction absolute. Earth had rotted away, and in its place distorted isles of subsistent darkness now floated in a starless sky. No familiar forms of life remained, only corrupted monstrosities, hostile to man. Her body weak from an eternity in stasis, she trudged along, scanning this unknown territory. But the more she looked, the heavier resignation weighed upon her. You would not find any living in this wasteland. Everyone was already dead. It was then that she heard a sound, a familiar sound. A voice.
Someone, please, help me!
She flew. The strength she did not know she possessed, Zero flung herself towards the cry. No sword, no shield, no plan of attack, but if someone yet lived, if someone yet called out for succor, she would not abandon them. There was yet hope. Where are you? Tell me!
Me? The voice whispered. I'm here.
Only by a hair's breadth did she manage to evade the descending claw. Rolling, she whirled to meet her attacker. Her gruesome face leered back at her. Nay, not a face. For the abomination had neither eyes nor nose, only a grinning jaw filled with razor-sharp teeth.
How strange. A meal that chose to keep its mortal shape.
These sinister words spoke all. Zero's heart sank as she understood what had become of mankind. Then I am the last.
Yet hardly the least, came the smirking reply. For in devouring you, your strength will do much to greaten mine.
The beast howled and drew back one of its great claws, primed to finish its prey. The thought of fleeing never crossed Zero's mind, defenseless though she was. Even if this world has ended, no. Because it has ended, I cannot. As if in answer to her determination, the ambient darkness began to stir, swirling, bending, lengthening, as Zero felt the weight of a great scythe within her grasp. Surprise seized her for only a moment before she clenched her hand, and swung reflexively at the horror above her, cleaving the wailing creature in twain. Foe vanquished and strength spent, she fell to the ground. Aether. Instinct guided her trembling hand as she reached out, gathering the creature's dissolving essence and absorbing it. An instant later, she felt her body begin to heal. Strange new energy imbuing her limbs. Power. More power. This was what the beast had spoken of then. This was what it meant to devour. A wave of disgust washed over her. Dizziness and pain scattered her thoughts, her body convulsing as if fighting to expel something vile. A second voice echoed in her head. More. Damn you. More! Only once I've been devoured will I... Will we be complete? What? No. The voice of her vanquished foe now harrowed her consciousness, as if boring into her very being. Death itself, then, had also become distorted. No longer did souls return to their source to be cleansed before rebirth. They were simply bottled by those who devoured them. Thus began a battle of wills, during which stronger would bring the weaker to heel. He had to fight. A chuckle reverberated behind Zero's eyes.
Stubborn one, aren't you? Pure, so intact in self and purpose. Let's see what's in you,
The creature pressed further into her mind, freeing memories she had long since locked away. The lonely child pale as snow. Her mother's face of...
Statue of Why would you treasure such a pitiable, ugly thing?
Zero fought. Try she might to resist the fiend, she and it were now one and the same. She could no sooner stop her own thoughts than she could keep it from knowing her innermost secrets.
Zeromus.
I wanted to save the world like Zeromus did. The creature howled with laughter. She could see the faceless monstrosity again, its grinning jaw filled with razor-sharp teeth.
Simple fool. You really don't know how the story ends, do you?
But now that the thoughts of that vile voice permeated her mind, she found that she knew only too well. Zeromus did indeed save the star, only for his fellow man to cast him out in fear of his all-conquering strength. Hero turned pariah. Perhaps her mother hadn't known the tale's end. Or perhaps she withheld the truth to protect her void-sent daughter. Whatever the case, knowing it now did nothing to shake Zero's conviction. The light to save mankind makes me an outcast, and gladly shall I become one. Thus, with clear resolve, did she purge the lingering rancor from her thoughts. Her mind grew quiet, as though it had never been host to another, nor did she ever hear that dreadful voice again. Brought to heel, it would seem. But being forced to face her innermost thoughts left Zero disconsolate. How am I to save mankind when no one is left to save? Thus did her aimless journey begin. Countless times others came to claim her soul, and countless times she tore them asunder, but never again would she consume their aether, even if it meant starving to death. Rebirth was but a small inconvenience after all. And so it went on. For thousands of years she traveled, losing herself piece by piece, till one day... I'd completely forgotten, Zero concluded. But I remember now, thanks to you, Golbez. Having listened to her tale, her comrade responded in his ever-dispassionate tone. As long as one possesses sufficient strength and fixed resolve, one need not fear dissolution. Even should one be consumed, I would never lose my sense of self. Must have harbored some lingering doubt. Zero shook her head. Not doubt, exactly. More an unreadiness to accept myself. Accept that someone as weak and alone as me could dream of becoming a hero. She raised her head and gazed upon the endless sky. I always wondered about that statue in the center of my domain. Now I finally understand. Broken and time-worn though it is, feared and ostracized though he was, Zeromus ever lived within my heart as a hero who wished to save the world. As I do. The armored figure appeared to consider this for a while. I too shall devour others no more. I do not believe the practice contradicts my desire to save our home, but mayhap in forswearing it, I will come to know who I truly am as well. Zero's eyes widened at his words. Felt the beginning of a smile tug at the corner of her lips. Let us move on. We may find allies in this vast world yet. And so the pair set off again, trailing a Nixie forged by bonds of the past, with hopes for the future, for a world made whole once more. End. That's all. That's it. That's all we got. That's the end of that. We are still in Juneau, enjoying the lovely Christmas music vibes. I opened the wrong window. Hold on. I'm like, where is my stream? Here it is. Okay, that's all I got for you for the evening. It is almost 10 o'clock. We've been going for a while. That was story time, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We are going to call it here for the day, so come with me over this way. Hey. Thanks all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Thanks to everybody who came by today. Chatters, lurkers, future VoD watchers. Next stream will be probably on Thursday. possibly on Friday as well, we're going to be doing Astrobot. Because I really want to play more Astrobot. So that's going to be coming up later this week, and I hope you guys look forward to it. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I hope you guys enjoyed the nice vibes today. We did the Starlight event, which is very cute. I really like the way that they kind of upped their decoration game and the event cutscene game, so that was very cool. Hildibrand, great start as always. There's definitely some mystery happening here. Can't wait to see where that goes. And yeah, we got custom deliveries to do now, and we read the stories, so it's a good time. All right, that's gonna do it for me for the evening and for this patch of what we're going to stream anyway. Yeah, next scheduled stream is gonna be Thursday and or Friday for Astrobot. Then we will have Ace Attorney finally on Saturday. Don't think there's any sudden plans coming up. I definitely didn't know until around this time last week that I was going to have a guest over on Saturday last week. So I'm not aware of anything right now, so we should be okay. We're in good shape to do more Ace Attorney. There's no raid for the rest of the month. People are busy. It is the holidays. That's totally fine. So maybe we'll do something else. We'll see. And then Monday will be Deep Dungeon as usual. So thank you again to everybody who came by today. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you all next time. All right? Take care. Spread love, spread joy. Bye-bye.